in a tunesbyblog.com.
Papi, why you coming for your breathing like that?
My daughter. Hey, my daughter, yeah. The old people can say that curiosity kill the cow. What your own problem again?
Papi, I really don't have problem. But the way you breathing, sir, it like you running somewhere.
My daughter? Ha, yaka. If I give you the little G's, you yourself will be running to the same player running. So you just hold it there.
Papi, Papi, play on me now, lay on me. You know I your daughter too now.
My daughter, guess what? I had to run away from Wego. Ha, yaka. Tuesday and Thursday, they got one show in town, they call it Logan's Hour. Man, that boy can talk the thing that are happening in Indiana. Even when you steal, even you doing wrong thing, the boy will talk it. You doing the right thing, the boy will praise you.
For real, Papi? No, they're that kind of thing that we want you all time, yeah.
My daughter, I'm telling you, let me tell you now, Logan's Hour come on every Tuesday and Thursday, 6 o'clock p.m. And when you want to watch Logan Hour, you gotta be on time, or else you watch the show after the show. But guess what?
What, Papi?
Just go to Facebook and subscribe to Logan Hour. You go to YouTube, you subscribe to Logan Hour. Anytime Logan Hour coming on, you will get notification. That the notification made me running at the door, my daughter, because I won't be laying back in my living room, man, and get ready to call on that show.
Papi, thank you so much for the information. But I see Tommy walking, coming it out. I don't know if I ate he looking at too. Oh, Tommy! Tommy!
Oh, what's that? What you calling my name like that for? What you calling my name like that for? Take your time and you get. I'm watching my Looking Hour. Don't got distract me, yo. Wait now. If you ain't got what to do right now, we're already enjoying ourselves. You better get involved with the fries, girl. Tommy? So that today, Papi was telling me that thing? I'm going to look for Looking Hour, yeah. Papi, thank you. Thank you for telling me about Looking Hour.
My daughter? Ha, that ain't no, don't say I'll tell you. Bye.
In a tunesbyblog.com.
Papi, why you coming for your breathing like that?
My daughter. Hey, my daughter, yeah. The old people can say that curiosity kill the cow. What your own problem again?
Papi, I really don't have problem. But the way you breathing, sir, it like you running somewhere.
My daughter? Ha, yaka. If I give you the little G's, you yourself will be running to the same player running. So you just hold it there.
Papi, Papi, play on me now, lay on me. You know I your daughter too now.
My daughter, guess what? I had to run away from Wego. Ha, yaka. Tuesday and Thursday, they got one show in town, they call it Logan's Hour. Man, that boy can talk the thing that are happening in Indiana. Even when you steal, even you doing wrong thing, the boy will talk it. You doing the right thing, the boy will praise you.
For real, Papi? No, they're that kind of thing that we want you all time, yeah.
My daughter, I'm telling you, let me tell you now, Logan's Hour come on every Tuesday and Thursday, 6 o'clock p.m. And when you want to watch Logan Hour, you gotta be on time, or else you watch the show after the show. But guess what?
What, Papi?
Just go to Facebook and subscribe to Logan Hour. You go to YouTube, you subscribe to Logan Hour. Anytime Logan Hour coming on, you will get notification. That the notification made me running at the door, my daughter, because I won't be laying back in my living room, man, and get ready to call on that show.
Papi, thank you so much for the information. But I see Tommy walking, coming it out. I don't know if I he looking at too. Oh, Tommy! Tommy!
Oh, what's that? What you calling my name like that for? What you calling my name like that for? Take your time and you get. I watch.
All right. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending on which part of the world you are. I want to say to you again, welcome to the Logan's Hour. Today promises to be a very great edition of the Logan's Hour. Those of you who just visiting us for the first time, remember you are on the Logan's Hour. And those of you who has always been visiting here, we want to say welcome again. If it is your first time, if you're at home, this is where we discuss critical issues that has to do with our community and Liberia as a whole. And today, we will be going into something very fascinating. I want to say to my brother Nathaniel Hales, welcome, my dear brother Jan Volule, Precious Loki, Mr. Rufus Stati, and all of you who just joined us here today. We want to say thank you. And I know some people left because it's already 6:33. Some people came early and they left. But however, you can stay, come back. And I'm hoping that most of you who left will come back. Today we have a few issues to discuss. And today promised to be a very great edition again, as always. And today I've been running a little late. And moreover, on Tuesday, I know I received tons of calls and people telling me, why we can't see you? Oh, my people, those of you who call me on Tuesday, I want to say I'm so sorry. And I was so busy. Trust me, I was so busy. I couldn't just come on Tuesday because I had a whole lot to do on Tuesday. But however, I want to say to all of you who reach out, who called and talk about why the show wasn't coming on, I want to say I truly appreciate you guys. Thanks for checking as well. Why your favorite show, the Logan's Hour, couldn't come on. For some people, this show means a whole lot to them, and those of you who this show mean a whole lot to. Truly appreciate you people calling me and telling me, "Oh, we missed the show." My dear brother, the King Yuji Doswa is following today. I want to say welcome, King Doswa. And King Doswa, don't forget, get some a mortar like me. Enjoy yourself. I see my beautiful wife. She's following right now. Princess Samar Logan. She's following right now. I want to say welcome, Samar Logan. Says Vera following from Liberia. Says Vera, welcome. Today, we're going to deal with, though we'll talk about other issues here. I think I have so many things down here concerning Liberia and other places. But I think today, specifically, we'll be dealing with the Liberian community. And we will also talk about issues outside the Liberian community. But we will be dealing with the Liberian community today and talk about issues on hand currently. Those of you who normally see the newsletter popping up. So today is one of those days where we will deal with issues that confronts the Liberian people. And I can rest assure you, don't stay away. Tell somebody that Logan Hour is on, and we're about to have fun. as usual, though sometimes when we come here, some people see it as though we we being moved. Sometimes I hear some people say um we are angry and we this and we that, but here's the good news. We are not. We are not. We just want the best for our community. So those of you who also want the best for the community as well, we want to say thank you so much too for standing up for your community. And those of you who feels that well, the rest of the other people who speak about issues in the community, they are angry. Oh well, it's up to you as well. But however, we want to say to I see my own aunt, sis Isabella, I see Villa Duo, and the rest of the crew who just joining here. You know, we just warming up one for some people to come because we don't want people missing anything when we go in from. Those of you who currently behind, we want to say join the show because when we start the real discussions, we are not coming back to give you what have been discussed previously. So today conversation going to be primarily around the issues in the Liberian community and though we'll talk about outside Liberian community because we know right now in Liberia it is the hottest topic in terms of the running mate issue and Joseph Boaka have gone ahead and pick his running mate and I see Mr. Tony Givler. Welcome, Mr. Givler, and waiting for Mr. Edizana coming too as well. Mr. Tiawan Singh Gogulu and all the people there who stay in the process. But however, today we're going to stay here today. We will be here for maximum just 1 hour, and we will not be here for too long because 2 hours of your time and 3 hours of your time. My wife finished warning me that listen, my children need time. I need time. You come from work, your show, and that is eating some of our time. So I need to give my wife and her children some of their time they are missing. So we will be here at least for an hour. And those of you who would love to be part of the show, I will sometimes delay for you people to join the show. That's why sometimes when I come, I play the intro more than once, at least for you to have the opportunity to join the show. And trust me, like today conversation we are about to go into it. Those of you watching on the Logan's Hour page, and those of you watching on YouTube, and those of you watching on my other page, I want to say thank you so much for joining. I know the Liberian people today, we are not going to discuss Liberian issues too much, so I know you guys will not just join that much, and I know my sub-band people as well. You can join the conversation, sub-band people, because I know people love to know what's happening in Indianapolis, and I think the Secretary General just put up the new calendar event for this year, and we would also talk about the calendar event. We'll talk about the holu going on in the chat between our churches and the administration. Just put it for short, because the Secretary General is the one who runs the day-to-day affairs of the administration, and a whole lot of issues going on. I want to say to my brother John Blamo. I just see him pop out here. Mr. John Blamo, I want to say welcome to the Logan's Hour, and thank you for joining us as well. And again, before we go any further, I want to use this time to say happy birthday to my dear brother and friend, Mr. Peter Howard. Today, you all know Mr. Peter Howard. Mr. Peter Howard is a down-to-earth person, someone who always there for everybody, someone who always do everybody else's party. Sometimes if he don't know it's your party, he gets there and starts to clean up and do some other stuff as well. And today, Mr. Peter Howard celebrates his birthday. I want to say, Mr. Peter Howard, right now I know you're way in Dubai and you're having fun. We want to say enjoy yourself and be safe out there, man. That's the Arab country, and the Arab people do not take side. So I want to say to all of you, James Mao, Mr. Rawa Kiri, Mr. Rawa Kiri, I said I got to talk about the church and the Liberian Association. You pop up, man. Oh my God! Oh my word! Oh my word! Oh my word! Thank you so much again. All right, so Peter Howard, I want to say happy birthday to you. And all of you who went to New Jersey, and all of you who were unable to make it to New Jersey that stay here for our dear brother and friend Marvin funeral, I want to say thank you so much for joining us. And me say thank you so much for attending those funerals. And those of you who went to New Jersey, Mr. Mr. Samba. Let me say Mr. Samba, Mr. Avin Sabangila, the president with the Sabu here right there. Mr. Ernest Madison, Mr. Raji, Mr. Samuels, and the crime ambassador, the Honorable Zion Glachiyi, and the man standing there, Mr. Phillips. So you guys got to tell Logan, and to all of you who make it to New Jersey, we want to say thank you so much. When we sympathize with our brother, and want to say thanks to the former vice president of the Liberian Association of Indiana, Miss Miko Koke. We see that you were well present and cooling your husband to be down. And I could see from his face, you could see that it really got to him. You know, losing your father is not something easy. Nobody want to reach that level to lose their father in any given circumstances. And I see our dear sister were there and trying to cool our dear brother down. And see Mr. Ernest Madison. They say beyond every dark shades, there's a sleepy. I don't know he was sleepy or he was. The crime ambassador is the only one who's not wearing shades here. So I think the rest of the other guys are sleeping as well. But anyway, we got to Jersey almost 5 o'clock in the. We got to Jersey by 3 o'clock in the morning, and we had to drive from Jersey to Philadelphia. We slept in Philadelphia. Then we have to drive from Philadelphia in the morning to come back to Jersey for the funeral. Then after the funeral, we got to drive back to Philadelphia. Then from Philadelphia, we went to Maryland. From Maryland back to Indy. That was a whole round trip, and it was very fruitful as well. And we want to say to all of you who were praying for us, and most especially this beautiful lady here, Miss Sama Princess Hamul Logan. She always pray for me, and thank you so much for praying for me. And all of you who pray for us in the Liberian community, we want to say thanks for praying for us. Well, we went to Jersey successfully, we returned successfully. And I was lucky to see two of my friends in Philadelphia. And these guys I haven't seen in years. And luckily for me, I met in Philadelphia. I want to say, hey guys, if you guys watching the show right now, I want to say shout out to you because I show you guys it on YouTube and y'all was so impressed. And want to say thanks to everybody too. And please don't forget we have Mr. Tiawan Saint Gongolo will be coming up on May 28th. We have the man who say he will make Liberia corruption free. The man who can walk with the broom. So Mr. Tiawan Saint Gongolo, the game changer. Some people refer to him as the dark horse. Some people refer to him as the only hope for Liberia. And some people refer to him as the miracle child of Liberia. But however way they refer to him, you have your own say. You know how to refer to him. We will have Mr. Tiawan Saint Gongolo, the man who never shy away from the press. He will be with us here on the 28th of May, Saturday. And that will be relayed on Fuerman Radio in Bon County, Liberia. So those of you who would love to join, you can also join the conversation. That's going to be a very, 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 very great conversation. All right, so we're gonna go to a few issues. We know the let me get my phone here to display the calendar event. So those of you who in the Liberian community and want to know what is coming up, we have the general meeting coming up. The Liberian community, the Liberian Association of Indiana will be having her general meeting. You know, normally the association go to have a meeting, and this meeting will be held at so the Liberian Association of Indiana will be having a meeting on May 7th, which is this Sunday. Sunday, May 7th, the Liberian Association will be having a meeting, and it's going to be at All Christian Assembly Church. So that's going to be what 2711 South Rattle Avenue, Indianapolis, Indiana 46203. So the time will be 3:30 p.m. So please be on time because issues of high significance going to be discussed during this meeting. As I learned that this meeting will highlight issues of very concern, and somebody told me that this meeting as well, they're going to be discussing the budget. They're going to be passing the budget for the Judah 26 celebration as well. So those of you who haven't made up your mind yet and not thinking about going to the meeting, I advise that you show up to this meeting and make your contributions, because whatever that is said in this meeting, it going to be binding, because for me, I have my own reservation when it comes to these meeting, and I stated that, and I stay saying the same thing. I think to push another budget down the throat of the Liberian people who live in Indiana here, it's not a good idea. I know historically the July 26th celebration is one of our program we usually celebrate here, and July 26th is no exception to other holidays as well. But in Amaji is our national holiday that we celebrate in Liberia, and it's our Independent Day. So it will be a very good thing for the Liberian Association of Indiana to celebrate July 26th. But however, we stay, when it comes to accountability issues, we stay have some skeleton in our clauses when it comes to how we were able to handle, how we fail in handling the inaugural program, and up to today there are a lot of questions than answers. And currently, the president not speaking to us, the vice president not speaking to us, the secretary general not speaking to us. The only person who used to speak to us, by the way in which he started speaking to us, we were able to box him up. Right now, he's in here on the corner, the IRC chairperson, Mr. Jeremiah Chie. So now the whole administration is not speaking to us. We have been left alone to lead by ourselves. And right now, what we are seeing, we don't know if we have leaders anymore. I think we just have managers. We have people who just sit in the positions and just watch things, and things happen the way it happen. But at this stage, I think we are in a crisis. We are in a serious crisis. We need people to take leadership. We need the administration to take leadership, and it will be a very good thing for the Packers Boyas administration to start dealing with the issues as it is, and start taking on leadership, because you people asked to come to power for the specific reason. Y'all wanted to serve this community here. You saw all the problems, the numerous problems the community has, and you say, well, looking at the problem here, we can fix it. And more, to even prove that you can fix it, you're able to take your personal cash to pay for the job that is volunteer, and you volunteer to serve, and now you have the job. We are having a serious breakdown in leadership. Everybody just doing their own thing, and nothing going as planned, no plan of actions, and we are all confused. So I think, Mr. Parker, in all fairness, the president of the Liberian Association of Indiana, he needs to take charge at this point. I think Mr. Parker needs to put his gloves on and roll his sleeves, and let's get this organization moving the way we want it to move. Because if Mr. Parker will sit in his corner and see things fall apart and say nothing, and allow the organization goes the way it's going, I think we are heading for disaster. I think the next group of people who will come after us will not even be interested to lead this community. Because I can rest assure you, the kind of traction that we brought to this electioneering processes after Rufus started administration, and now going to the next election, there are just very few people who will want to serve this community, because they are not seeing the kind of a leadership they expected. Because what I actually expected, I expected to be more competitive, to the point where people would say, yeah, we told you, this is the people who want that, and this is what we know that people are going to do. But as to yet, everybody have been, I think they can call it what? The whole community paused for some time now. And we have to do better. We have to do better. We cannot allow this to happen to us, Mr. Parker. Mr. Parker and Mr. Boya, you guys got to do something. I know sometimes if I'm up here speaking, I know you people can think that, oh, because he was one of those major contenders in the election, and so sometimes he's speaking because he speaks from a point where he stay angry that it happened this way, it happened that way, but it makes no sense. Look at this whole inaugural program here up to today. We can hear nothing. The president said to us that he took whatever complained to the board that the board should investigate, the board should set up an audit committee to audit the inaugural committee. What happening? We ain't hearing nothing. The president can say nothing. The vice president can say nothing. We just been left to speculate. And at this point, the president wants to agree that we should just sit down here and they are doing a voluntary job. Mr. President, Mr. Vice President, you people volunteer to serve this community. If you feel this job is hard, it is a free job. You don't do it the way the regular librarian people can be doing it for fucking being a librarian making sleep hungry. You know you're hungry, your next neighbor don't get food because you say they will vote me, so I won't go out for food, so I will sleep hungry. If you're not able to thing here, if you feel too much for you step aside. You step aside, please. You give the people a chance to lead their organization. It ain't have to be the president, the vice president occupying the position and using it to be beauty pageant. This is not a beauty pageant thing here. This is about intentional leading people in the community. Look at what happened just yesterday between our religious leaders and the Secretary General due to miscommunication. You saw what happened? That was a complete breakdown in our system. And before we go that far, we first of all want to announce to our sisters in the librarian community, those of you who would love to be part of kickball team, now it is a time that you have the chance to enjoy yourself because our dear sister, Miss Brandy Alpha, she have brought everything right to your doorstep. So there's no more you're going to suffer to go look for what the men ain't playing, you won't play and know what to play. Now, first time in the history of the librarian community, Brandy Alpha, the Youth and Sport Committee chairperson, she's organizing a keyboard team. So if you want to play for the community keyboard team, the numbers are right there. You can call 317-744-4429. So if you want to play for the community keyboard team, just call the number you see on the screen. The flyers are being put out there. If you can play, because me, I know a few people that can play TT Banks, my Wayne Sosa, all the people in there are bye-bye keyboard player. And Tutu Makate, Logan, our princess, they can play serial keyboard. So if you can play Wema Boya, that was a serial keyboard player there too. I saw her playing the other time. So if you can play keyboard, listen, join this team. Send your name in as soon as possible because they're looking for up to 24 players. Because if they have 24 players, you're not going to be on the team. They're going to have the regular team. They're going to set up their day to train. They're going to be having a little keyboard meeting there. They see what the men can go party on Saturday morning. They be there, they be drinking their beer, they be laughing, quack, 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 quack. And how the women will be finding their day. Second of day, what they set up for the keyboard parties, when they get there to the be laughing, wah, 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 wah. So it'll be easy for the community to move forward when we all come together. So just in case before we can slip on this other one here, the community, the Librarian Association of Indiana, you know, we have been beating on them to come up with the calendar event. But I think the Secretary General the other day came up with this calendar event. Mr. Robert C. Carey, he came up with the calendar event, and I was privileged to have seen the copy. Just a second, let me just read the calendar event. So those of you who never had a chance to know what on this calendar event, so you can see it for yourself. All right, so the calendar event on the screen. So they say the LAR 2023 calendar of events. So events, committees, and dates. So they say full pack day, full sales. So it said the Ways and Means Committee in collaboration with the Membership and Welfare Committee. That will be on June 24th, 2023. So listen, they want you to tell you, say, on June 24th, 2023, that's going to be a pack day or full sale day. And that will be the Ways and Means Committee in collaboration with the Membership Committee. As far as I'm concerned, Librarian Association of Indiana do not have a membership committee because the Constitution states that to be an active member, you should pay your dues. And moreover, to occupy a serious position like a membership committee person, and she haven't paid any dues yet, as far as I'm concerned, we have none. We have none. So that membership committee chairperson, you do not have the right to tell anybody about a membership. You do not have the right to convince anybody to become a member of a Librarian Association except you are a dues payer. Then you'll be qualified as a member to convince somebody else. But until then, you're not a member yet. Then they have Family Night Out, Youth and Sport, July 1, 2023. Family Night Out. Certification of 2023 graduates. That is the cultural, religious, and education. That is July 8, 2023. We have Independence Day, July 26th celebration. That is the Labrador Association, all committees. That will be celebrated on July 29, 2023. July 26th, Park Day. That is the Ways and Means Committee and the Youth and Sport Committee. That will be on July 30th, 2023. Flag Day, August 24th, 2023. Celebration. It will be by the Ways Means Committee in collaboration with the Youth and Sport. Why everything just the Ways and Means Committee in collaboration with Youth and Sport? August 26th, 2023. They have another pack day here. That's the Ways and Means in collaboration with the Youth and Sport Committee. So that is September 30th. Then they have Games Night. Ways and Means Committee in collaboration with Youth and Sport again. October 28th, 2023. Fall Painting Day. Party. Man. October 29, 2023. Thanksgiving and Veteran Day. Game Night. Ways and Means, Youth and Sport. Ways and Means, Youth and Sport, November 18. Why everything at Ways and Means, Youth and Sport? Ways and Means, Youth and Sport. So what are the other committees? What happened to the other committees? Why are we not seeing that on here to say anything about everything Ways and Means, Youth and Sport? But however, it is what it is. But let's get back to the issue we were discussing here. I know everybody who follow the Labrador Association of Indiana, the community chat room, everybody had issue with how things were going. Personally, people reach out to me and ask me for my opinion as to what was happening between the Secretary General and the Pastoral Council of the Labrador community. And like most of these things, sometimes when I'm sitting in my little corner, I feel, well, I'm an insignificant guy and nobody cares. But I know what people care. People care, and people reach out to me and be like, what do you make of what happened? What do you have to say about that? And I was able to give my own kind of opinion on the issues. And for all walks of life, I think from what I saw in the chat room, what I saw went on just yesterday, I think it was a little lack of leadership in that direction. And I think Mr. Robert Carey, who disseminated the information, he never did justice to the churches in all fairness, because that alone casts a blanket expression on all of the churches instead of just the few churches who he spoke to. But in the end, when the conversation got so heated, I think Mr. Carey were able to come back and make some clarity on his statements. But I think from the initial stage, when what sparked the whole thing here, that Mr. Carey never did justice to the churches. And which, of course, I know he felt offended when the churches wrote and said, Mr. Carey, you need to retract your statement. And I think the Logan Hour people pick it up. I think I saw in our newsroom, I think the news team picked it up, and the news team ran with the story. And the caption on the story here, the headline was, the pastors should be apologizing for lying on me. And that was what was captured in that story, that Mr. Carey is asking the pastor to apologize to him. And the pastors are asking Mr. Carey to retract his statement. And one of the pastors in the community as well, I think, says something to one of the community members about, if you're fighting us, you're fighting God, or something of the sort. And I saw a whole lot of mixed reactions from different people, and everybody giving their own perspective on the issues and how it goes. But for me, if you ask me on the identical issues, where do I stand? I will first of all say this. If I was one of those pastors who the organization were going to reach to concerning using my church elevates to have the regular meeting. I will look at two things. Number one, the church is an institution. It's a whole organization that run by laws, run with every laws and constitutions and whatever, like the same way the Liberian Association is ran. So if our laws or our policy in our church states that before people use the church or anybody who is not part of the church or any organization that is not part of the church to use the church elephants, you have to pay a certain amount. Obviously, we will tell you to pay that amount. And I think the church were in no error, absolutely no way wrong by telling the association to pay a minimum to use the church elephants to have their regular meeting. The whole free be here for Liberian people, everything we want to get it free, we want to get it free, we want to get it free. We have to start getting away from that mentality. And anything what we have to always use the church people to say, oh, you men of God, you're not supposed to do this, you're in the community at church, you're not supposed to do this. It's wrong. It is wrong. The church is an institution registered with the state to function. And some of them went as far as obtaining a 501c3 to become a non-for-profit charitable organization. So the church have to pay their bills, the church have to pay their rent, have to do with other things that is cost intensive. Some of these churches do not have up to 100 members. Some of these churches, they have less than 25 members. If they have volunteered in the past to allow the organization to use their building, it doesn't mean 2023 they should allow that to happen. And looking at this meeting that is slated for the 7th, how sensitive this meeting will be, even if I have a church, you people will not use my building. Because, one, since this administration came to power, they have failed miserably in maintaining the stability that we have had during the past election. After election, every good administration, your major focus is to stabilize the community first. Stabilize your people. Then you can carry on your developmental agenda. But one thing this administration have failed to do is to deal with the people first. Now, if this administration is failing on the most simplest thing in any administration, which is the information dissemination, then what else can they do? Because even if you carry on good project, you will have to explain those projects. So what else can they do? So looking at how sensitive this meeting going to be to discuss July 26 budget in the absence of the inaugural budget, the whole inaugural committee report up to today, the president wrap it up. He sent it to Dr. Famula and Mr. Initial Judge. Mr. Initial Judge, Dr. Famula to the wrap it. They talk in the net. They say, oh, my man, the president called already. The president said, we can put it us out because we might keep it to the July 26 because now we'll put it us out. The whole nurse will come out again. So you're waiting to have the July 26 program. Then at the end of the day, you will have 2 reports on your head. You have the inaugural report since January. 5 months. No head, no tail. Now you're bringing July 26. What make you think that the July 26 report will be your bread and butter? That after the July 26, oh, everybody was singing Kumbaya. Oh, the people did well, the people did well. That did well, made loans, I know I go walk up. So, Mr. President and Mr. Boya, you people have to take to the microphones. You people have to explain what is going on. The president can be sitting. Everything I go on, the president not saying nothing. Mr. Boya too. You the vice president, my friend. You are the president in waiting. If your able lieutenants that have been appointed in key positions are unable to disseminate the information of the administration, step out and let's discuss the issues. Why is it people ain't telling all about what happened to the inaugural committee reports? So why are people in the inaugural committee report that we can't hear anything about? Is that something you guys hiding from us? Or is that something we need to know by ourselves? Are we being left alone to govern ourselves? Or what is happening? The president is chilling. The vice president is chilling. The secretary general and the IRC person, two of them also, they chilling. They got a little kumbaya going on. Or one person posts, the other person look for error in that person on the post. So where are we, my people? Who do we have as our leaders? I'm confused. How do we go and sit and craft a new budget to present to the Liberian people of Indiana for July 26, when you cannot ably discuss the issue of the inaugural committee? People on the inaugural committee have been shielded because they're from the elite organization in this community. They are untouchable. You cannot question them. And because of that, that report will stay in heading with the board, which the board secretary is part of that elite organization. The president is part of that elite organization. And everybody else is part of the elite organization. So where are we heading? Why can't we discuss the issues of the inaugural committee first and lay the rest? What is hard, my people? I don't see what is hard in the whole thing here. I don't see what is hard in this whole thing. The whole thing is about people taking leadership. It's about Mr. Parker stepping up to lead. Mr. Parker, we elect you to lead. We elect you to be saying that some don't say that some kind of Joe Blue. Hey, Ale, you know what you going on? You want that in? You saw J.D. Walker administration here. You saw the other person administration, Cia Brown or whatever. You saw Casa Dene administration. You were privileged enough to stay here and serve under Rufus Tati administration. Now you have been well schooled in the area that you now is the president. But we are not seeing those examples and leadership experience that you took from the other past leaders. Mr. Parker, you can be silent about everything. Every leader must speak. You have to articulate your vision. When there's crisis, you have to come in. Look at what happened yesterday with the churches and the Secretary General, Mr. Rawakiri. That was one of the most despicable things I've ever seen in the chat room. Imagine whole community, the bastion of civility in the Liberian community here. The people who are supposed to sit down and say, we will make sure this community is stable. We will pray for the community. Your administration were 14 people yesterday. And the president sat down and do nothing about it. The vice president sat down and watched the chat going up and down and said nothing about it. And you're forgetting to know that every individual in this town is somehow in some of those churches. And you look at their church leaders, the pastors, being dragged and being called names in the name of community organization. Because the community do not have a hall, they do not have nowhere to have the meeting, so the churches is on obligation to give you their building. And because they say they cannot give you the building, now you're starting to call their names. That was bad. That do not represent this community. We have options. We have options. First of all, what I expected from the Secretary General or whoever person responsible to collect information or collect data on organizations and individuals live here, you first of all have to collect the names of all the churches, their location, the head of the churches, their numbers, and every information you need. Go to all of the local organizations again. Collect the head of all the organizations, the president names, the secretary or the financial, whoever person collect those list the data and get the location. You do it with all the tribal organizations. Now, when we are faced with this kind of crisis where we do not have place to have our meeting, you can call administrative meetings. And sometimes you can say you call a meeting with all heads of organizations, the pastors, the pastoral organization, and heads of other groupings, and bring the situation out. Hey, guys, we have reached this point that the Liberian Association do not have means of having meeting anywhere else because the building is under renovation. What do we do? Some of us could offer some recommendations. There are a whole lot of people here working in other places and have auditorium to their workplaces. They could ask you to use those. Some of the pastors, and if you are just to ask the pastoral council and say, hey, we have a crisis, can you put it in your pastoral council chat room and see who's willing to assist us? Yes, they could have done that. But reaching out to 2 or 3 pastors and just putting everybody in the same basket and saying to them that they are evil and they in the community, they're collecting dues and they're doing this one, they're doing that one. I think you guys were wrong. You guys were wrong. And those of you who were bashing on those pastors and calling their names, shame on you too. You got to desist from that too. Because the thing is, that's their own building. They're like, my property, you ask me for my property, I say pay $10 to use it. Then you get problem with me. You go all around calling my name, oh, I buy, man, I did, man, I died, man. What do you make me buy? The church is a building. Even if I decide to build an elephant, it will not just be called church or temple or so. That'll be a multi-purpose building. That building one people can use for a baby shower, Sunday they can use it for church, the other day they can use it for something else. So that's the same way you see the church function. The first thing that God ever looked for in any man, we go back to the book of Genesis, God looking for the manager. God looking for somebody who will manage this earth. The reason why after God formed the earth and poured everything on the earth, he never allowed no rain to fall till he brought man, because there were no men to manage the ground. It's in the Bible. So what do you think the pastors and they are in the churches for? They are managers. They have to make sure they collect the offering, and they got to make sure after the offering, the tithe, the minimum tithe or offering, then they have to manage it to pay the church utility bills, manage it to get something inside for themselves, and also manage it for those their brothers and sisters who cannot afford. So what did the church went wrong now? That we as the people in the community got to be cussing them. For what? And I sat down, I watched that happening for the whole thing. And when my news people pick it up and my news people did the news and send me a copy of the news, and they say, yeah, I said, do you people verify the information? They say, it's authentic, it's in the group chat. And when the news people put the news out, like, well, it is what it is. And I thought at that moment, the president was going to lead. But the president sat down. The only person I heard he referred to was Mr. Gavler. And that was it. You should have called the entire community to attention. You should have had an emergency press release. Or even ask Open Table to host you for 20 minutes. Just in the moment of the crisis. When things are going wrong, people do not listen to deputies and this and this and this. They want to hear from the policy maker, the president. When the president speaks, that's a policy statement. Who want to hear when the community is going down? The church leaders are angry. They're putting up official press statement from the churches. Who want to hear Jeremiah Chie speaking at that moment? Who want to hear Jan Voluda speaking at that moment? Even the vice president, in some cases, they don't want to hear the vice president. They want to hear from the president. They want to know what the president stands on that issue. Mr. President, Mr. Vice President, we do not lead from behind. You guys have to lead from the front. It has been too much now. It has been too much things going on in the community. And what I've seen, Mr. President, and I think you and your vice president, you guys are leading from the back instead of leading from the front. You guys are leading from the back. You have to lead from the front. You people have to show us the direction you want us to go in. And how to do that. You see, the other day during the campaign, I said it, and the other day I said it, yeah, people get issue with me. But I cannot be, I do not say this in a denigrating manner. I just say it to let you know that we never went to the pools. It was raining that money to vote for Bobo. And I never one day assumed that the president is a Bobo. The president got more, the president get tough. The vice president get more, the vice president get tough. But why are you keeping the mouth on now, Mr. President, Mr. Vice President? When the community in crisis, you keep the mouth. The community happy, you keep the mouth. Why are you tough? You're tired now. We're tired too. What's going on? Who do we have that will come and explain the government here, all this administration agenda? All of them when we're running campaign, where everybody just speaking. When everybody goes somewhere, they say the other want to go on the other side, they can't remember what they say on the other side. That campaign time. Now it is the time that the president have to have his whole thing blueprinted and come to the community and explain to us in details for us to understand what is it this president want to achieve. The other day, Manakodumo asked the president a very perfect question. Mr. President, give us two things at least that you will use as your signature. That tomorrow we'll say, yeah, Mr. Parker, he left they time here. These are the things he said he was going to do and the things he did. And the president said, well, I ain't going to say anything because I won't say anything they'll hold me by it tomorrow if it ain't happening. Then later on, the president captured, he said, oh, okay, I want to do the website. The website, I wanted to tell you my agenda. Then the second one, we'll try our best and see if we'll try to get a hall, even if we can get a hall. But how can you get a hall when the first accountability issues that has to do with the inaugural committee? And no, the news I have been receiving here, if I just spill some of those beans, you will not like it. Your own friend from the same group that you're part of. They say my picking relier said, that is finished. Without the whole inaugural committee report, you all say that anytime you will not get it no more. And listen, no disrespect, but the inaugural committee is in the hands. The inaugural committee report. Currently, the president said he turned it over to the board secretary and the chairman of the board. And Mr. President, I want to say to you today, I, Philip Logan, I will be in that meeting on Sunday. And in that meeting, you are going to revoke your decision. Whatever thing you gave the board, or whatever mandate that you pass on to the board about the inaugural committee, we ain't going to accept that. As far as we are concerned, we do not have a board currently. If the board chair can have a zero dues record, if the board secretary can have a zero dues record, as far as we're concerned, they cannot spearhead anything right now because they are not in compliance. I know they want you again, it will be a sandbag. You can call it. But by right, the board chairperson should be in compliance with his dues. So right now at this stage, we have an inactive board. We do not have an active board to lead us in any direction. So, Mr. President, do not, and please, call the board secretary and the board chairperson and let them know that we do not have an active board at this point. So the board cannot deliberate on any matter right now. They cannot deliver on any matter. So the deliberation about issues about the inaugural committee, you turn it over to the board. I think some simple steps that, Mr. President, you have to go by before you can pass some decisions. Ask the financial secretary, send that financial record to me. Let me see the board standing. And you send up people email and tell them, say, Mr. Board Chair, you cannot be a board chairman without paying dues. Mr. Parker, you're the president now. And we got to give you all the respect as the president. But if you're not leading in the right direction, and you will not finish for all more. How can you have a Ways and Means chairperson, not Ways and Means, but membership committee chairperson, and they put a list out about dues payment that has to do with the membership? Then the membership committee chairperson, zero on her dues. Under my administration, you fire the scene that list will come up. The very day they put that list out, you fire. Because you have to set an example. You have to convince people how to come to the organization. How can you zero? Let me drink my more time, Mr. President. So how long? Just a few days, I told the people from Liberia. I said, you know what happened? The whole issue about Liberian Association thing, I can't leave it now. I can't start talking about national politics. They talk about issues that are happening in Liberia. But how can I just leave it? And we start talking about Liberia issue and do not talk about the issues that are happening in the Indiana community. What's happening? Since Rufus Tati left power, I have seen a real drastic decline. I have seen us, instead of progressing, we are retrogressing. What is going on? Do you people need some help? Do you people need advices? Do you people need something to push you up? What is going on? We cannot see what is going on. But we just see everybody just laying back. And we saw few resignations, Samba and Chocopee, and what is really going on, Mr. President? Do you need to call a cabinet retreat? Because we have gone 100 days plus. We even see the 100 days deliverables. We even know when the president or the vice president will take on some of the public media and speak to us. I think the next constitutional amendment, we have to put in our constitutional amendment that at least every first working Monday in a year, the president have to give a rundown of his activity during the previous year. That would be the good thing that the president will have to take at least 1 hour on any of the public platform and address the community and give us issues that you have addressed over the time. Other than that, we would just elect somebody who will not talk to us from January to December. And we have to do that. That tussle. Though we know Jeremiah Chia was jumping all around the place, but Ali, he the only one that used to speak to us. And right now, since the Secretary General put Jeremiah in his place too, Jeremiah going in the late corner, we can hear Jeremiah talking again. Now the whole government in the bubble. So we let the bubble government. They want to tell the way again. You see, I'm being disrespectful. I call the president government bubble. But that bubble government here now. Yaka. Mr. President, please, man, please. Let's do better. Let's do better, man. Because the thing here, we thought, oh, well, we have a new administration now. Listen, in the past, when people lose election, they will be so angry and they will not want to work alone. Now we say, you know what? Let's work alone. I talked to all of my people, FOP people, they are excited. Somebody working in your administration, or somebody, when they having program, they all there to support the administration. But now the administration have no plans. Now everybody's stuck. So what happening now, Mr. President, Mr. Vice President? I think we just got to get Jeremiah Chena. Jeremiah start doing the thing again. Because Jeremiah, the only one I was talking, so now when Jeremiah talking, Jeremiah will talk, he forget it, he start laughing. I say, what happened? He say, shit. I real life for the government. Because If there's no workable plans, there's no things I documented to say these are the things we execute. Regardless what, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. Even if you decide to do 3 before 2, yes, you stay on the path of doing everything. But now we can see the 1 before the 2. So where are we now, Mr. President? You gotta tell us what to expect, though. Because we're not here looking like some kind of new girlfriend where tomorrow you say tomorrow, so I pass the Walmart, I'm going to get a flower tomorrow, so I go to the mall, I'm going to get a shoe. No. This is an organization, a legitimate 501c3 organization that's supposed to be here to do non-for-profit job. So sometimes, the other day I had this conversation with somebody. I said the reason why the tension is in the community because of the way we elect our leaders. How can somebody kind of do a non-for-profit job? You made a person to register, run campaign, do all the things, and then the person kind of power, you want everything to be cool. It cannot be cool. But yet instead now, they put in that kind of power, y'all do something. Y'all don't let all to sit down here. We ain't see nothing. Y'all ain't do nothing. They want to go to July 26th or Sunday to pass a budget. The budget on Sunday, Mr. President, Megan Tall. I swear, let me tell that DDA today. Megan Tall. But the budget on Sunday, if you ain't careful, that church will get noisy. Because if the inaugural committee report cannot be finalized, what we're going to do with July 26th? Now the president took the inaugural committee report that he should address and turn it over to the inactive board. Now the inactive board have the inaugural committee report. They're going to preside over that report. Now, since that report went to the board, what the board do? You have young men and women who volunteered their services to serve on the auditing commission. What happened? Because they have people part of the inaugural committee who they are trying to shield, and which of course is wrong. Accountability should be the hallmark of any good leadership. So where are we coming from now to start protecting people, protecting administration, protecting this, protecting that? Which of course, Mr. President, you can do better. Mr. Boyada, my own bastard brother. But so now I can put you on the cross and nail in it with a nail Jesus. Because I want Mr. Boyada take on leadership. So the whole inaugural committee budget yesterday you got here. The first thing, Mr. Savannah's already finished bringing it out here. You need to publish it in the chat room. So to avoid the noise that is coming up, you post the thing in the community chat room. So when you post it in the community chat room, we all will be able to review it before the time. But listen, we don't talk, we tired, Mr. President. Mr. Vice President, we not talk, we tired. Y'all don't tell everything. We listen. We ain't doing anything. We just telling y'all what is wrong, what is right. Now, all the frustration you took it from all now you carry to the church people then. And now, when the church people decide to pray against you, the way I don't already doing anything, then the church people pray against you. Now, I want to see that what will happen today. All right, anyway, serious talk now. All right, so I said that it will be here for 1 hour. I have assisted my 1 hour. I'll be out of here in 10 minutes. So I want to say to all of you who joined us here, thank you so much for joining us. Please don't forget, today is Mr. Peter Howard's birthday. Please call and wish Mr. Peter Howard happy birthday. Mr. Peter Howard celebrates his birthday today. And Mr. Peter Howard is right now in Dubai. And he's celebrating his birthday in Dubai. So Mr. Howard, I want to say thank you so much again. And to all of you FOP members who donated to Mr. Tito Harris stuff, Mr. Tito Harris wrote a letter to all FOP members and supporters, and not FOP, but looking at our members and supporters and people who watch the show constantly, and all those who donated to Mr. Tito Harris at the time of bereavement. He wrote an official letter to you people expressing his gratitude. He's so thankful to you people for whatever you people did. And he said, how much you people never forgot him in times of need. He also will not forget you guys, but he really truly appreciates. So we want to say thanks to all of those who donated. We were able to get $2,000. It should have been $2,410, but I sent back $410 because I said the collection was to be expired on Tuesday, And after Tuesday, I saw people were still sending money, and I said it was to end on Tuesday. So after Tuesday, I couldn't take any money again. So everybody else who send their money, I had to send it back to them. So I know some people stay pays with me for that. I think, or just a few days ago, somebody sent me a message and telling me, "Oh, why you sending money back? It's just supposed to keep the money there." I say, "Well, I can't eat your money. One, and two, while we're collecting the money for it was already over. I didn't want to be sending $10, $5 to people and say, oh, my man, somebody just sent $10 again. I don't want to do that. I want to be seeing somebody who set a deadline and after the deadline have to go beyond that for no other reason. So I'm sorry for those of you who send your money, I send it back because I know some posts they got issue with me for that. But I'm so sorry. But I set a stipulated period I was collecting the money, and Tuesday was the deadline, and Tuesday elapsed, and I couldn't take any money again. So all those that send their money after Tuesday, I send the money back to them, and I know some of them stay angry, but I'm so sorry about that. I'm so sorry about that. Yes, so it is what it is. So I want to say to all of you who joined us here today, I want to say thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. We have reached our 1 hour limit, and sometimes we'll be here for more than 1 hour, but for now, let me keep my 1 hour regular till I can fully adjust with my wife because my wife needs some time, my children need some time. So keep you on the show for so long, fine. We will get back to our 2 hour, 3 hours maximum again like before, but for now, it's getting hot outside. The children want to go and ride a bike, and children want to be playing their little small here and there. They can see daddy in his studio and doing his broadcast. And it's a good thing to be here and giving the news, but sometimes too, your family come first. The children need you more than the show need you. So at this point, I want to respect my daughter Zura. She's banking on me 3 times now. She have come, Daddy, when this show gonna end? I say, oh, my daughter's show soon end. So to all of you following us, want to say thank you so much for joining us. We truly appreciate you guys. We'll be back here again on Tuesday. And on Tuesday, we have some real bomb share to drop. And we'll come back on Tuesday. And on Tuesday, we'll come back. We'll have Mr. Savannah Spilly, if you would love to join us. And all of you who will go to the meeting on Sunday, if you go to the meeting on Sunday, if you love to be part of the discussion on Tuesday, you can also send me your name. I'll do a flyer and put your name on the flyer and put your picture on the flyer to be part of the Tuesday discussion. Because if the budget is passed or the budget would not be passed, we have to discuss that as well. So to all of you here, I want to say thank you so much. We appreciate you guys. And because of you, we are here. I want to say good night and bye-bye. Thank you for joining the Logan's Hour again. Bye.